Hello, and welcome to our database for our campgrounds that we run as administrators.
Here you can see our campgrounds homepage. On the left-hand side, we have our provincial government COVID-19 rules, regulations, restrictions, and information, so our guests and our staff members can stay safe. On the right-hand side, we have a lovely picture of our campgrounds, followed by a news tab for CP24 News, so we can stay up to date on the news and inform our campers about anything they need to know. Then we have the weather tab, which is one of the more important tabs and very important for our campers. Then we have our promotional tab, which shows the promotions of the month and the codes needed to get those promotions. And finally, we have our map tab, which shows us the map of our campgrounds and allows us to search for anything we need to. Then we head over to our camper profiles. Here, we can find a camper or we can create a new camper. So heading on over to creating a new camper, it opens up this lovely dialog box and allows us to put in all the necessary information for our new camper. Once this camper is put in, they will be put into our database and it allows us to then search for them. So here we're putting in a camper with the camper ID 24, first name Jane, last name Rowe. Jane will be staying at a campsite at site 108. Jane has also been here a certain amount of times, and we can then put her into our database. Now going over to our camper ID script, we can search for camper 5 or camper 5.
I thought 5 was foreign.
Camper 3, which pulls up our camper and all of that information that was in create new camper.
So next we're going to go look at our camper list, which shows more information than our camper profiles, which is confined to the individual information about the campers and their previous visits. So our camper list collects all of this information for all of our current campers that are staying at our grounds. This also includes information about their sites when they're planning to arrive and depart for the month of July, and the additional features that they chose, which determines the price of their cost per night and their total cost. So on this page, you can also use 2 different scripts that we've used to sort by days, which is sorting by which camper stayed the longest in July and which camper stayed the fewest amount of nights. And then there's also an unsort button to just revert it back to as it was before. And from here, we can go back to home and we can also look at our schedule. So in schedule, we can go in and we can add reservations, which is the same mechanism that was to add a camper. So you just go in, you can add the site number, a camper ID. So this is assuming you're creating a whole new camper ID, add the additional features and add the date arrived and the date departed. And once you hit book, then this person will now be added into the schedule. Finally, we're going to look into our revenue graph. So this is information that's compiled in our summary field down here at the bottom, total revenue for grounds in July 2021. And this information comes from our camper list, which we were on before. So we find revenue by timesing total days by cost per night, and then using a summary field to combine all the total costs for each of our campers for the month of July. So going back to home, back to our revenue graph. So using this information, we're graphing each camper by the amount of money that they're spending. And from here, we can see the total revenue that we generated. Now, this is very important information for administrators. And so we've created scripts here at the bottom, which allows you to either print this page, this layout page, or export the data from the total revenue table. So I hope you enjoyed this examination of our database for our campgrounds, and thank you.